Scientists have just announced they have evidence for a new planet in our solar system, but not just any planet. This one has signs of life, and it's very far away. Far enough that we can see it in the sky like a star. Far enough that we could send a probe there in a few decades. Far enough that if life does exist there, maybe we can go visit. The implications of this discovery are staggering. Let's talk about it. In a paper published this week in the journal Nature Astronomy, an international team of researchers presents what they believe is strong evidence for a Neptune-sized planet around the star Kappa Sagittarii, about 20 light-years from Earth. They have designated it Neptara 9. That's such a cool name. Now obviously, we don't actually know that it's 20 light-years away. That's just their best estimate, but the fact that we can even make that estimate is pretty amazing. And the reason we can do that is because this planet was discovered by analyzing the light coming from the star Kappa Sagittarii. Stars like this one have what's called a habitable zone, or a Goldilocks zone, where conditions might be just right for liquid water to exist on the surface of a planet. And according to the researchers' calculations, Neptara 9 orbits right within it. Now, just because a planet is in the habitable zone of its star, doesn't mean that it actually has oceans, lakes, or rivers. It just means that it could, and this planet is about 9 times the mass of Earth, which means it's probably a gas giant like Neptune or Uranus. But the researchers think that since it's so far away from its star, the side that faces Kappa Sagittarii could still have oceans, lakes, and rivers, and maybe even an atmosphere. But what's most exciting is that Neptara 9 appears to have an ocean-like body of water on its surface. The researchers found that the planet's atmosphere has a slight absorption feature at a wavelength of 715 nanometers. On Earth, this wavelength is absorbed by water vapor in our atmosphere. And while this doesn't prove that there's water on Neptara 9, it's pretty suggestive. Not only that, but the planet's gravity seems to stretch and distort light in a way that is consistent with the presence of a large ocean. Now, you might be thinking this all sounds pretty cool, but how exactly do scientists detect a planet that far away? The answer is with extremely precise measurements of the light coming from stars. The light from Kappa Sagittarii has been monitored by the High-Accuracy Radial Velocity Planet Searcher, or HARPS, which is an instrument on a telescope in Hawaii. Over the course of a year, the team analyzed the star's light to look for periodic dips that might indicate a planet passing in front of it, but they didn't find any dips. Instead, they found that the star's light seemed to wobble slightly over time, which suggests that something was orbiting it. To explain the wobbling, the researchers developed a model of Kappa Sagittarii plus a Neptune-sized planet. Then they fed that model into a computer program that simulates how light would interact with the system. The results were encouraging. The simulated light matched the observations pretty well, especially when the researchers assumed that the planet had a large ocean. Now, before you start packing for your trip to Neptara 9, there are a few things you should keep in mind. First, the presence of water on a planet doesn't necessarily mean that it's habitable. We know that here on Earth, the vast majority of water isn't suitable for drinking. And it's possible that on Neptara 9, the water isn't suitable for life as we know it. Second, even if the planet is habitable, that doesn't mean that it's actually inhabited. There could be no life there at all. Or if there is life, it might not be intelligent. And third, we need more data. This is just a model. We haven't actually observed Neptuna 9 directly. That said, the researchers think that their model is a good representation of the system because it explains all of the available data. And if it's right, then we've got a pretty exciting discovery on our hands. I'm a science journalist based in Toronto. If you want to learn more about the amazing discoveries being made in space, subscribe for more updates.